Hello and welcome to another vlog. This time on Runaways episode 2 Rewind. And this is going to be a little bit shorter. Well, a lot of bit shorter than the last, 5 vlogs I've posted. Well, one time crunch and 2. We're on episode 2, so I got a lot of my baggage for the show itself out in my first vlog. Check that out. Not so much just a review of the pilot episode, but also all of it.
Tie in with the comics and everything.
Exactly. And, well, we make sure these are after you've seen the episode because they are generally worth watching, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, even with my big hang-ups on the first episode, it was still at least worth the watch. Yeah. And you know what? This episode, this episode showed that potential. So, episode 2, Rewind, long story short, it shows the parents' side of what happened, that night. Or, during the day leading up to the Pride meeting. And I really, really liked it.
Me too.
The thing about, the first episode was, trying to set up the kids and everything like that. And that met with kind of tropes. Your standard, okay, we know he's the jock, he's this, that, and everything else. Like with Chase and all that. So coming back around and making it about the Pride and showing, where they are, I thought was actually really cool.
Really neat.
Because while you do get some tropiness, like Jeffrey, that's Alex's dad, he's still tied with the hood and everything like that. Or rather, because he moved up in the wood, his old partner Darius is trying to bring him in, or bring him back, or exploit him, or whatever you want to call it, which actually led to this really cool, we got everything off of his phone while we were at that meeting kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which really sets up for the fall of the Pride, I think, is how they're going to play that. Yeah. And I dig it. But this really does show all the the characters of who the Pride are, which is something that you never really got in the comics. So the show did something a lot better than there. You guys get to hear me talk positively about something.
Yeah.
But because you get to see the more fleshed out characters of the Pride, including they didn't technically sacrifice the girl this time. Which...
And you actually get to see who the girl is.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured it'd be Destiny. Spoiler, if you haven't watched this episode, watch it. If you don't have Hulu, well, sucks for you. Become a pirate. Well, the thing is that copyright law is that, if it's not available in your area, it generally isn't a negative, unless you're trying to resell and all that. But, anyways, so you've got this really good breakdown with Jeffrey, Alex's dad, where he's got his own baggage going in. But at the same time, he's also showing where he's from and how he actually does kind of have a heart. Like, not to the extent of, let's not sacrifice this girl, or, let's just shoot.
This actually does get to me.
And that's what's actually really neat. Like, also seeing the same thing from Carolina. Yeah, they call her Carolina in the comic, or in the show, which is weird, because it's Carolina with a K. So, I know that's a very small, thing, but I just think it's one of those weird pronunciations that I will never be able to get behind. I will always call her Carolina. But you see a lot of the adult side of this, which I like. And while they do set up, they still set up Old Lace in a weird way, though. Old Lace is, again, the dinosaur. And all I'm wondering at the end of this is when the Runaways are actually going to become the Runaways. Because, in the comic, it's, oh my god, our parents just sacrificed someone, let's get the hell out of Dodge kind of thing, versus this, which is a very slow build.
Try to act normal.
A very slow build to, well, running away. I assume.
Unless that's what Alex is planning with their meeting.
Well, looking at the thumbnail for the next episode, you get to see it looks like Chase has goggles on, and they do talk about the leapfrog, which is apparently just a self-driving SUV in this one instead of a
With a big
mechanical.
trunk.
Except in the comic, it's a giant flying frog thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's a hopping frog thing that sometimes flies, depending on who's writing. But so there's a lot of good setup in this, but this is definitely what I like seeing from this show.
Mhm.
Which, to be fair, first episode was okay. This one was really good because, well, it didn't focus on the kids. It actually set up for who the kids are based on their parents,
Mhm.
which is something that I've always prescribed to, which is, nature, nurture, and all that. So having Mrs. Dean, why can I never remember her first name in this? They say it
I
like
can't
50
remember
billion
it either.
times because her husband, isn't in the pride or anything like that. So it becomes this. He's trying to figure out what she's up to. She actually shows a lot of heart because she does believe in what she says at her church, which I actually really like. Yes, and it's actually something I like the fact that they play it that the Church of Gibberim
Mhm.
is bad on a technical level because it worships, what the pride is sacrificing all their stuff to. Spoiler, it's not actually brought up in the show yet, but kind of logical, put two and two together.
Mhm.
So, but you see, that she does have a positive influence because of her church, and it's not literally just Scientology or Mormonism where it's well, the outside world does go, wow, that's kind of a weird church thing.
Yeah.
It's a cult. You don't see a lot of negative from the church, which is cool. And then
Yeah.
same thing with Alex or with Jeffrey Wild's, business stuff. He's digging to make a school. We'll find out about that later, I think.
Hoping. They kind of
They hint at it, but
Yeah.
it's a
hint
we
at
don't
it
know
being
yet.
important for the pride.
Yeah. So when someone, when Mr. I want to be a big, Darius comes in to be like, yo, you can't build in my hood. They actually have I would have liked to see a little bit more badassery, like badass lines from Jeffrey when he's confronting Darius about.
Yeah. He seemed a little bit too afraid of him to start with.
And that's what I think. That's what it was.
I think
It
I
was
didn't like that so much.
how the acting was. Is definitely, he didn't know how to handle the situation, which I would have liked to see just a little bit more badassery from him. Not so much like he kills Darius and all of his crew, but just you felt his apprehension about how to do this.
Yeah.
So even when we get the reveal, yo, I'll kill your moms, it's like, okay, this feels more like a defensive move than him turning around and going, you know what? Exactly. It felt reactive more than taking an additional action, which I guess kind of works for the character because, he is a businessman now and everything like that. But in the comic, Alex's dad, Jeffrey, I know I keep calling him Alex's dad or Jeffrey, but is basically the kingpin of crime. So you don't see a lot of that kind of, back and forth. You don't see him, but to be fair, you don't see a lot of the adults. So having the adult perspective really helps.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Although I would have liked to see more from the other parents. I will say that I loved Nico and her mom. I liked their interaction
She's
in the first one.
interesting, yeah.
And Nico's mom is one of those characters that she's broken coming in, but at the same time she kind of is a stereotypical Asian mom. Well, that's basically
Yeah.
how it works out. But between
No
Nico
one's
and
happy.
her mom, that is where you get a lot of, show don't tell. Well, you get a lot of tell too, but it's all within how they interact and everything, like how she acts, how Nico acts, and how they act together. So compared to Jeffrey and Alex interacting, Alex and his parents interacting, there's a wide variety of, wow, this really fleshes them out. You know what I mean? Just like in this Chase and his dad, we get a lot of, well, we don't get any interaction between Chase and his dad, but we get a lot of, you know, how Chase feels about his dad or how his dad acts, which is psychotic. But anyways, I gotta wrap this up real quick, mainly because I got places I gotta go. I really liked this episode.
This was a lot better than the first one.
It was, and well, I'm not going to take back any of the negativity I said about the first episode.
Yeah, it's still
this is kind of the reverse of that. It's the, okay, now that we have everything set up, you know, even if it's a mediocre first one, now that we have a second one that actually really elevates it to something worth watching. So yeah, I will check y'all out. We'll check the next episode out probably in a day or two. Well, probably tomorrow I'll get that out because it comes out, what, once a week? Because I think that's how Hulu's doing their original series here.
Not sure.
Neither am I.
We can.
But, so, it's awesome. Eventually, hopefully, the Runaways will actually run away. Because that's kind of where the meat of the storyline really is. I mean, they're trying to flesh out, you know, trying to keep it as teen drama until they can't, I'm assuming.
Maybe.
Where, you know, they have to have the kids run away and change things. But we will find out. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Please check out our Patreon. Might be able to get a better camera here. And, yeah, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below what you guys felt about this episode. Or, you know, even the first episode and everything like that. Or if there's a comic-related show on this channel that you think we should check out and talk about, maybe hear me bitch about, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not good. Then please, let me know in the comments below. I'm the Archivist, she's not, and I will talk to y'all later.